Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works today. This is a shorter meditation, so it's not as important. You just want to find something comfortable, sturdy, and upright if you can. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. However, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, you can certainly do that. There are no hindrances here. But of course, if your eyes are open, go ahead and just drop them down below you, or just drop them down towards the floor or whatever's just below you. We're not staring or analyzing at anything. We're also not zoned out and blurry. Just a nice, gentle, clear gaze directed softly downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable position, and your eyes are open and down. This moment is what there is. So just be here. But of course, this is difficult for most of us, because we spend our time thinking. We fill our brains with opinions, experiences, all delivered to us instantaneously from the supercomputers in our pocket. Bring your attention to this moment, right here, with sounds, color, taste. Just notice what is. And you might already be distracted now, thinking about something else, agitated or bored. Just notice how your ability to pay attention is severely hindered if you were lost in thought. This modern world of our devices and Netflix shows and everything's telling us, pay attention to me. So our attention spans are shot. We get bored with the immediacy of this moment. We become unhappy because we're always seeking something else. And just notice this in you. How this moment is, and the tendency for us to try to make this moment better. But maybe if we inquire in a different way, with a question, what is here right now when there are no problems to be solved? You don't have to go anywhere. There's no problem with your personality, no political thing, nothing. What is left when all the problems disappear? You can't think about it. Simply come into contact with this moment just as it is. You are here. This moment is your life. So completely rest here and now. Because you are here and now. All right, you can look at the screen. I'm sure we all know, especially if you live in the West, there's a loneliness epidemic. Depression and suicide rates are skyrocketing. Anxiety. We have kind of a crisis of mental illness. And this really started significantly around 2007 or so, when the iPhone came out. Now, there's probably a lot of reasons contributing to this mental illness crisis. But I promise what I would expect, the advent of our phones, has a lot to blame. Boredom is cured. You don't have to face your mind anymore. When we feel depressed, anxious, what do most of us do? We get out the phone or we go sit in front of Netflix, just veg out. We then, after this binging, we feel better in the moment. And we think that these devices are our friends. And they can be, but not for our mental issues, not for anxiety. I did this for many years. Whenever I was anxious, I would just play video games. And it'd feel better. But the anxiety never went away. It would come back. So what was the solution? More video games. More distraction. Even before you start to meditate, the most practical advice, if you're unhappy, get off the phone. Spend more time being bored, facing your mind. Your brain wants to work things out by itself. It really does. But if we're constantly on our phones and on our devices, we're not ever giving it a chance. We're just perpetuating the problem. Now, meditation is this radical insight. It's looking at our minds. It's seeing what is. But if we're meditating, like you say, you come here and you sit and watch this video and you do the meditation, but then you go off for the rest of the day, you're just distracted. My teacher would say, you don't want to meditate and then go off with the rest of your day with your mind up your ass. That's his way of talking. But that's what we do. We spend the whole day with our minds up our ass and then come and expect to have something great with meditation. But it doesn't end here. We don't need to constantly have something playing in the background when we're doing the dishes or when we're doing anything. Just be silent. Listen to what's around you. Let your brain go crazy. Don't hide from it. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but give it a week. Give it a week of taking way less time away from your phone and TV. I challenge you. This week, don't watch Netflix. Don't watch YouTube. Get off. Can you do it? And if you can't, that should scare you. And if you think you can, but you just don't feel like it, do it then. See how attached you are to these things, how much you rely mentally on an imitation of reality called a TV screen or an iPhone screen. It's a big sickness, and most of us don't want to admit it. We all know it, but we don't want to admit it because we know what it requires for us to face our mind. So that's my challenge to you. Now, of course, do what you want. I'm not going to force it. This is also a video online. But let me know in the comments how that goes for you. Maybe don't do a week. Let's say give it one day. Do 1 day of not doing it. Of staying off the phone and staying off the Netflix and the TV. See if you can. No listening to podcasts, just leave it all alone. Just do 1 day of it. See what happens. See your mind act like an addict, ready for the next hit of distraction. Thank you for showing up today. And I know this ending talk didn't have much to do with meditation, but there are just some practical things that help us mentally. And sometimes I feel the need to bring them up. And of course, if you disagree, that's fine. It's just what I have found in my own life that has helped me. But thanks for showing up today. Thank you for showing up again for your life. And of course, as always, I'll see you tomorrow.